Hey everyone, we're here again to look at more filters for Iron Maiden. As you remember in our last video, we put on filters for the mode part of Iron Maiden, you know, the part where you get into all the modes of the game and all that kind of stuff. So we put filters on for that. And Pinmonk, who's on Pinside, who sells these products, came out with more filters for the game. So he came out with the Eddie card filter, which is on the playfield near the mode, like it's more above the mode. This is the fireball bracket, and this is on the top left hand side, I believe, like where you do the wrap shot, you know, like where you would go. It's kind of by like where the mummy ball is and all that kind of stuff. In the very top of the playfield to the left, you'll see like 4 or 5 different shots that lead up at different numbers. So that's where that one goes. And then this one is the mummy, which is near the lock ball up on top, the Newton ball or whatever, near on the LE and premium, where you could put the ball under the scoop. So that's where this one goes. So that's the 3 in order. So we're going to install these today on the game. I believe you have to take some boards off the game to get to some of these parts of the game. But we're going to go over to the playfield right now, take a look at it, and see where exactly the location is for these parts of the game, and kind of put it on top of the playfield to show you how it's going to look compared to the standard white LEDs that are on the game that came stock. So stay tuned. We'll take a look at it. Hopefully the install will be pretty quick. There's no electrical to this, and that'll be it. And again, just to kind of also talk about the quality of the mod, it's really nice. He does a really nice job with the 3D printing of this and stuff like that. It's really professional. It's not just a piece of like filter paper that you slap over an LED and you change the color of it. It has screw holes in it. It's a nice bracket that the filters actually like lock into so they don't fall out. So it looks really good. He did a really nice job. It's thick. Again, it's like very professional. It's not some cheap half-ass, job he just throws out the door. He really puts a lot of time. And like I said, in the last one that I got from him, he sent me filters, like different colors, because he wasn't happy with the way they looked. So, he's very meticulous, and I give him a lot of credit. And he sent it to me for, just in the mail, and I didn't even request him. So he really takes a lot of pride in his mods. So again, it's Pinmonk. He's on Pinside. And that's where you could order these from. So I'm going to put that in my link of my blog of where you could order these from too. And again, he labels the top up here and stuff like that of the mods. So he's very professional. Right here tells you what it is up on top over there. Of each mod that he sells over here, the number, I guess, of the model of what it is, and also what it is, Eddie cards bracket. So really nice. So again, let's take a look at the playfield, and we'll see how that looks after we install it. Okay, so we're looking at the playfield as a whole now, and just want to kind of go over the different areas of what we're going to change. We did this one in the last video. These are the modes of the different modes of the game of Iron Maiden. So basically that was changed already. So I showed that in the video last time. So where we're going to change this time is the mummy one right here. That's this mummy shot with this Newton ball kind of over there. The Eddie cards, which are over here in the middle of the playfield, are going to get done. And then also here, the looping jackpot, which over here, those are going to get changed too. I think there's 4 or 5 over there as well. So those are going to get changed. And this is the looping jackpot that gets shot by this flipper. It's basically an orbit shot, I guess. So those are going to get changed. So that's where the 3 different filters are going to get put into the game. So let's go under the playfield now and take a look at the areas of what we need to take off to put these filters on. Okay, so let's start with the Eddie cards, because that's the closest to the playfield of where we're going to start. And where that one is, let's zoom in a little bit on that. And that one is right here, I believe. That's this board. This board needs, I think, to come off. And then the Eddie card, that's the area where the Eddie cards reside. And we're going to have to go back there and put on that filter. So let's start there. Take off that board, look behind it, and see how this Eddie card actually fits on. Or this filter fits onto the Eddie inserts. Okay, so now the filter is installed on that board. And basically how I did it was that, and this is again for the Eddie card. So I took this board off, took it completely off, and there's like holes within this filter that gets screwed in. So then I just kind of like went in and went through the holes of the board, the screws of the board, and put the holes like where that filter would be. So that's kind of how I got it in there. So that's for the Eddie card. Next, we're going to do the Mummy. That's next. So let's take a look at how to install that one. Okay, so I just installed the Mummy board, the filter board. And basically where that one goes is if you're looking at this board and you take it off, these two screws on this side where my fingers are, this one and this one, those are where the actual bracket fits into. So the yellow is at the bottom, the brightest yellow is at the very bottom, and the white is at the top. So that's the way I laid it out in mine. So again, it's these two screws on this side, and it lays down. You have to kind of sandwich it. You take the actual filter, put it over like the screws. You know, there's like plastic like fittings that the screw goes through. You put it over that, and then you got to hold it on while you put it on, and put the screws through it, and sandwich the board on kind of on top of it. But it's a nice fit. It's really clean, so it worked out really well. It's kind of a pain to get on, but just be patient and you could get it on. So next we're going to install the jackpot bracket on the left hand side here of the game, and I'm going to install that and show. I think that's separately though. I don't think there's one board that comes off. I think it's individual light boards that have to come off, and then that fits on top of it, kind of like in Metallica. I had to do the same thing, and he gives you longer screws to put on, so we have to do that as well. So let me do that, and then I'll go into detail of how that was done. Okay, so I saved the hardest one for last. This last board here that I had to put in, it was kind of a pain to put in because it was actually hitting. There's like a nut down here, right here where my finger is, down in here, that this piece of plastic came all the way out. It jutted out, and it laid right on top of that nut. So I had to like cut that piece away and like bring it back so it would actually clear this screw right here. And like I don't really have a lot of tools like to do that, to do cutting and all that, but that's what I had to do. So I'm hoping that the design was kind of redone for some of the, the machines coming out. I don't know if there were different ways that nut was kind of put in the machine from the earlier version to the older or to the newer versions. I'm not sure. So, but there was a piece that kind of jutted out here again. I had to cut that off. So I kind of like just melted it a little bit, like just put a little bit, not in the game, outside of the game. And then I took an X-Acto knife and kind of cut away the pieces, and I finally got it enough to get it through, through that screw right there. So then I had to take like, he gives you longer screws with this bracket. So then I had to take toothpicks and put it in the holes to give it more bite. And then it finally was able to bite in so it would stay in and, stay in pretty tight. So I think I'm good. Let's go now to the top of the playfield and take a look at the way that everything looks. But again, start from the top. Don't take the first 4 out, not from the bottom. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I believe it's yellow is on top, and then it goes down to the white, or I think that's the way that it went. I forgot, but that's the shape. It goes, to like a curve. You'll see it when you start putting it in. But that top piece goes all the way to this solenoid, like to the very top of that. So that's kind of how you put it in. So let's take a look at the top of the playfield and take a look at how everything looks. Okay, so here we are at the Loop Jackpot shop. You can see it goes from yellow to the bottom to orange to the top. Looks really good. It was a real pain to get in, but I finally figured it out, to cut that piece away and all that. So yeah, hopefully it's redesigned a bit. I don't know if the newer style is different than the older one, than the LEs. I'm not sure, but whatever. Finally got it in, so that's good. So thanks to PinMonk, did a great job with these designs. Hit them up on Pinside if you want to buy them. I'll have a link on my blog of where you could buy them from. And again, there's 4 of them together for Iron Maiden.
Feel your life drift before you.
It's these 3, and then the 4th one I installed in an earlier video, which is the mode one right here. That's in the bottom of the playfield. So they all look great. So let's just take a quick shot of everything together, like all lit up. So everything looks really good. Looks like that's the way it should have been, from factory. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate that too, and all the followers I'm getting on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and all those things too. And I can be reached at www.pinballsupernova.com. And from there, all the links to all those sites are there. YouTube, my blog, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my website as well. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.